So this is something, look, we talk about the unequal citizens, okay, language inequality and inequality in the Indian Union, right? And as we are talking, as I will try to present, that there is a unequal citizenship issue here. This is especially violent because the Indian Union just celebrated its Republic Day, and the idea is that we should have an equal citizenship by now in all its forms, and we will try to assess that question. So look at this banknote. Most of you have probably seen this banknote by now. And the new banknote, there are certain things very wrong in this. Okay, and things which are wrong in this were also wrong in the notes which were replaced by these. Okay, and what are these? So, can you read what's written here? Those of you who can read Hindi, what's written here? And this is 800 rupees, right? Can you read what this is? Can't see, right? So, this is informative, right? Tells you the denomination of the note, right? So we call this information. This tells you something from the same distance, it's at the same size, so to say, scaled to the same thing. So this is called decoration, right? And that duality of something being information and other things being decoration, just for the hell of it, unity and diversity and all of that, sort of tells us what is so fundamentally wrong with the idea of India as it exists, and how a majority of the peoples of the Indian Union who belong to various ethno-linguistic nationalities are rendered unequal citizens, and I would dare say second-class citizens. And in fact, this is quite a good case scenario, because here it's at least decoration, and I will come up with examples where it's just absent. So, were things always like that, right? I mean, we were talking about 26 January, we were the peoples of the Indian Union celebrated their republican kind of tradition for 68 years. So things should have been worse earlier, which is why we are celebrating. What do you celebrate? Something good. It's a state change from something which is bad, right? Hence you get the change. So let's particularly look at this specific aspect of it, because the British conquered territories in southern Asia, which came to be constituted as the Indian Union on 15th August 1947, also had currency notes before that. Right? People were doing their everyday business. How did they look? How did they deal with these linguistic nations, because they existed then also, right? So let's look at an old British era banknote. That's how it looks like. Okay. The numbers are equally sized, including English. That's also equally sized. Okay. I know this is Bangla. I don't know what other things are, but most of you should be able to pick up from your own vantage points what these things are, and also extends to the question of writing. Okay. So this is one. Of course, fewer. Okay. Of course, fewer than what we just saw, right? But not too fewer either. They have enough space. And this is eternal. And also remember that much of what we call at least 2/5 of Indian Union territories were not within the administration of the British Crown. So that's also something to remember. So, which partly explains the relative lack of, let's say, quite a few languages. Okay. This is another one. Look at the down panel. So something happened on 15th August 1947, which makes it go from here, deletes this, gets us this. And one would, and for most peoples of the Indian Union, it is a regressive step. Because if we are to celebrate democracy, if we are to celebrate equal rights, if we are to partake as equal citizens in a system as a Hindi speaker, as a Hindi belt origin person, we should stand as equals, and that is a fundamental right, or ought to be a fundamental right of an individual, right? So that it is not happening tells us that what we should then go into, are there interests which want it, is it accidental, for example, nobody cares, oh, I didn't notice that, something like that, or it's by design, that it could be either of the two. So we will try to look at certain other kinds of examples. So I was actually flying into Bengaluru just day before yesterday, and I was at the airport, which was pretty swanky one you have here, a new one, and there was Jet Airways. So Jet Airways is in the business of doing business. It flies, it takes money from customers, and it flies people. And these customers have a certain language. They largely understand certain languages. Jet Airways wants to sort of cater to its customers for the sake of its business. So it better get these languages right. Okay. So for example, if you had put Bangla here and no English and Kannada, it would be, well, useless in the Bengaluru airport, right? So since Jet Airways is in the business of flying, just put English and Kannada. Okay. Jet Airways, by the way, is not paid by Indian citizens' tax money. It's not paid by Karnataka people's tax money. It's a private entity. Okay. But it understands that in Bengaluru, a significant subset of its customer base wants to be served in Kannada. It's Karnataka after all. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that I have to make this point. It's obvious. It should be obvious. Air Arabia, those people, they also get Kannada. It's interesting. They have Arabic, but they also have Kannada because they are into the business of flying. Go Air has it. Indigo has it. Okay, I don't know what it has. Air Pegasus, I've never heard of this airline, but it has it. It's probably more of a career in this area. SpiceJet has it. Air France and KLM has it. Very small fonts. That sort of tells you about the kind of customer mix probably for Air France and KLM. Air Asia has it. And by the way, till now I have not shown you anything for whom Indian citizens actually pay and subsidize. Which is the one which Indian citizens pay and subsidize? Air India, right? Lufthansa has it, you don't pay for it. Vistara has it. TrueJet has it. And here comes Air India. Bengaluru. Okay. Something's adding up. On the banknote, to the Bengaluru airport, okay, something is common. However, it has something which nobody has in Bangalore. Hindi. Okay, so two things are different. Everybody in Bengaluru who is in the business of flying has Kannada, no Hindi. Air India, which is, I hope, is in the business of flying and not something else, has no Kannada in Bengaluru, has Hindi. Okay. In fact, Air India has no Bangla in Calcutta, has no Marathi in Mumbai, has no Malayalam in Kochi, and has Hindi everywhere. Something is common between the banknote and Air India. And this is yesterday. So citizens have been trained to look at this kind of stuff. Okay, and they are quite spectacular. Every year you see some of these floats sort of floating away, and can be nice to look at depending on your aesthetic sensibilities. But there is something. A Manipuri person wouldn't be able to read that this is from Manipur. That's how it's designed. It actually tells you that in front you can only have Hindi. By the way, this is not some Delhi state parade. This is the Indian Union parade. This is not a Lucknow parade. This is not a Patna parade. This is not a Bhopal parade. This is the Indian Union parade. Where, in the sense that if you, as a Manipuri, or you, as a Tamil, has to enter into this predefined main street, you got to shed some and you got to add some. And Air India, the logo tells you what you got to shed and what you got to add. Which means that a certain subset of the Indian Union citizens are pre-qualified as Indian citizens. While a larger subset is not quite enough. They need work, right? They need processing, right? Which means if you are Tamil, born in Coimbatore, and chosen to be Tamil in Coimbatore, as Tamils in Coimbatore have been for thousands of years, since 15th August 1947, that's not good enough. You got to step up your game in other ways. And it kind of gets pretty bad. This is from West Bengal. Somebody has put this as what I get to read as Paschim Bengal. But this is not an official pronunciation. This is not even how, if you simply state the name of my state in Hindi or Devanagari script, it would not come out as this sound. It's the way many people in the Hindi belt pronounce the name of my state. It's their idea of me, and that's very important. So you have to conform to somebody else's idea of you to be considered, to be allowed in full public view. Similarly, you can be, till some few years ago it was the case that you could have your own dress, you could have your own headgear, you could have your own makeup, it doesn't matter. But if you are in the Olympic march past, you got to have the kurta and the pagdi. Nobody in my 14 generations has worn a pagdi, but you got to wear it, right? Because there is standard and there is deviation. So it's very clear that we have a certain idea of citizenship where certain things are made into standards. As a minority, by the way, is made into standards. We'll get into some kind of data like that. And then there is deviation. There are various deviations. For example, somebody from Punjab, post mid-90s has been more or less acceptable. Nagas, they need a lot of more. Okay. Bengalis, depending on the time of the day, different levels of work. So that's how it goes. Which basically means that we have the non-Hindi citizens of the Indian Union who constitute at least a tenth of humanity, by the way. 10% of human beings are on a daily basis being made into second-class citizenships for no fault of their own. Simply because they are bound by a treaty which, by the way, promises them equal citizenship. Let us get into certain other examples. So this is, by the way, the Union Government law. Writing or use of logos on tablet is not allowed except the name of the state unit representative is allowed in Hindi in the front. And I love it how the hierarchy is put in words. Hindi in front, English in back, and regional language on the side. I don't know what a regional language is, by the way. I mean, there are lands, there are Hindi lands, Bengali lands, Tamil lands, Kannada lands, Tulu lands, etc. You could call them regions. Because when you say qualify something as a regional language, there has to be something like a non-regional language. I don't know what that kind of thing is. What is a non-regional language? Like stratosphere, I don't know, right?
So I have a quick question. So what's the normative stance about this language variability that exists in the country? Is it good to have homogeneity or do you want to have the
language language rights are rights by what? They have to. It's not heterogeneity. Heterogeneity assumes a certain system within which there is heterogeneity, right? But linguistic communities are things unto themselves. Their existence are not preconditioned on the existence of others. So it's not heterogeneity. It's existence of a community. Do they get all their rights? That's the question. There's no homogeneity, heterogeneity question.
So you're agnostic to the normative aspect.
The normative aspect is that each linguistic community has the full right to do what every other linguistic community has. Equal rights. Yeah. However, people who are again in the business of business, by the way, have things like this. This is very recent. So Amazon has started Kannada, Tamil and Telugu language customer service. Okay? If you go to most Government of India websites and customer service things, they wouldn't be offering something like this. And you pay for that. You do not pay for this by your tax money. This is because they are into the business of customer service to sell better. It must be a very weird system where the customer has to become like the customer service professional and not the other way around. Have you ever heard of it? The customer service professional is telling the customer, you better become like this, only then I will give you customer service. It goes against the grain of whatever we understand as customer service. Customer is king, not here. Some customers are king. The fact that some customers are king are also the customers who have every other service in their language also tells you something. Okay? And also when some customers are king are also the customers who would not have to change themselves in order to become Indians also tells you something that these are not unrelated concepts. Just like the State Bank of Mysore, which was a local area bank. British did not produce this. Kannadigas produced this. Okay? Which will very soon not be there, by the way, because these banks will be amalgamated into the State Bank of India, which, by the way, was the Bengal Bank at one point of time, whose websites do not have any Bangla, and neither does State Bank of Mysore's website have any Kannada. There's a Hindi option, of course. How can you forget it? To forget Hindi is anti-national. Okay. To forget Kannada is a technological bottleneck. We will come to that later. How can you have so many languages, man? But you can put a spaceship on the, what do you call it? What's that planet? Mars. An administration which can put a spaceship on Mars cannot actually have parallel translation services or websites in a certain language. Amazon can, well, very strictly. Okay. It's the same administration which says its citizens are some IT superpowers. This is a Malayali newspaper. Okay. And this is a ad in a Malayali newspaper. Can you ever flip this script? Can you imagine a Malayali ad in a Hindi newspaper? That's ridiculous, right? But it is also the fact that when this is done on and on and on, a certain usualness of it, a certain mundaneness of it sets happens.
That's actually different cases. I mean, not this example, but recently I have seen this snapshot on somewhere on social media that because there are too many Bengali patients coming to Narayana Hotel, their signages now have a Bengali version of whatever very food and stuff. So it all depends on the dominant flow of customers.
Sure, but what language would you think that the dominant flow of customers in a Malayali newspaper be?
In a Malayali bank, one can envision a Malayali added a Bengali newspaper is what I'm trying to say.
Say that again.
So if a Malayali bank,
Yes.
entrepreneur here might be public, quasi public, or human private, able to establish dominance. I mean, what's so new about this?
What is new about this is, so first of all, it's not new. What is astounding about this is a job ad in a Malayali newspaper. I sort of would want to see a Malayali job ad in a Hindi newspaper, because a demography, when you said that Narayan Vidyalaya has Bangla signages, I'm not surprised. That's exactly what Jet Airways is doing. I'm actually surprised that AIIMS will do it. And there is something particular about the fact that this is a Government of India, Union Government organization. There is something very particular about that. However, everybody knows Hindi, right? It turns out that's not true. Linguistic surveys, decade after decade, even now have shown that the majority of the people, citizens of the Indian Union, do not understand Hindi. Period. And of the people who understand Hindi, this is the breakup.
This is mother tongue. So this does not comment on whether people understand Hindi.
No, this is mother tongue. Yeah. And this is mother tongue after 40 years of denying them any mother tongue education. None of these languages have any schools in those mediums. It tells you the resilience of these languages.
So doesn't have a written script. What are you going to do? You have to use Hindi as a script.
Many languages don't have written
So
scripts.
it's Hindi, right?
No, there's no English script, right? There's no English script.
It's what you read, it's not sound. Hindi is not a script.
And
It is a
Urdu is a
language.
dialect. It's not a language.
Well, linguists do not believe so. They do not. However, there is consensus among upper caste Bhojpuri origin people that it is a dialect. There's a huge consensus. Because there exists and has existed since pre-partition times a certain amount of mobility among upper caste groups in the what is so-called Hindi belt to sort of latch on to the Hindi bandwagon so as to increase its numbers vis-a-vis Urdu, so as to make the case for why it should be the contending power. The reverse of that is given by the fact that in Bhojpuri areas, while there are only Hindi medium schools for, let's say, South Asian language schools, political rallies do not happen in the language in which the schools are being taught. That's very interesting. That dichotomy is quite interesting. Because one would think that people's language would be the one, right? Your kid goes to a school, learns your language. Politician comes to your area, does the pitch in the same language. Which is precisely also why Bhojpuri and Rajasthani and Pahari have had very long-standing claims of being considered separately as from Hindi for a very long time, and now it seems like the Union government is going to relent on that because a huge amount of political pressure has built up. And political pressure, if we break up that word, political is something to do with polity, people. So people's pressure at some level, right? Because there has been a erasure of identity. And in any case, Bhojpuri being a language with several hundred years of history cannot be the dialect of a 150-year-old language. I mean, that's another kind of easy way to look at it.
I'll just add to the point. Bhojpuri had a script which is called Kaiti, which is used till 1894. So that is discarded from 1895, and Hindi script, the only script was used for that. Who doesn't know have a script, who says doesn't have a script, but Bhojpuri had a script.
Maithili also had a very similar script.
Maithili still has.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, as a policy maker, what do we do about this? So, for example, at some point in time, somebody decided to shift the national capital from Calcutta to Delhi, and there emerged a bunch of things which makes Hindi the steady state language for official transactions, even if that doesn't collaborate with it being the dominant mother tongue of Indians in the country. Indians.
So Citizens of the
citizens of the country. Now, suppose there's a thought experiment. Let's shift all of the stuff to Bangalore. Let's make Bangalore the new capital of India. Will this mean that Karnataka will become?
It's a horrible idea.
And Kannada will become.
No.
We will debate the horrible.
No. It will not.
So
it will not.
That's.
It will not, because if you look at it, there's a certain element of this history which has been there even in pre-partition times. This has a longer. It's a longer game. It's not simply a geographic question. The Hindi-Urdu question was on even when Calcutta was the country. Okay. It's just that Delhi on top of it makes it probably worse, but it is not completely dependent on the fact that the capital is in Delhi. It is largely dependent on the fact that the idea of Delhi or the idea of any center being with union and concurrent is this big actually adds to this domination in a very compounding way. Yeah. However, what's interesting is, and let me tell you an interesting story about Bhojpuri. So there were folks who were called agreement or Girmitias. These were people who were taken to Reunion, West Indies, etc., Fiji of all places, from what is largely the Magahi and Bhojpuri speaking areas of the Gangetic plain. Right? So they sort of escaped before 1947 in some way. Of course, it wasn't an escape then, it was near slavery. It's fun to talk it as escape right now because they're coming back. Many of them died on the road, on the way, on ships, etc. However, since they went to Fiji, they continue Bhojpuri. There they learn Bhojpuri as the language they learn in school for their ethnic minority in that Fijian community. They are learning Hindi. Should come now, they're not doing that kind of stuff. Okay. So clearly, something being this ecology, and remember, they're also largely low caste, which is majority community people, right? So the incentive of latching on to a certain amount of upward mobility, which is gotten through upper and middle Gangetic belt city centers, that's not part of the panorama in which they are thinking or were ever thinking, and then they were completely out of this game. Okay. Anyways, but people have been thinking about things, what to do about this. So Gundu Rao, who's a pretty influential politician here, Gundu Rao, he's not quite right in what he's saying, because Gundu Rao must have passed through the Bangalore airport many times and had seen no Kannada in the display and couldn't care less. Okay, at that base level. However, certain people in Karnataka, in Bengaluru, wanted to be served in their mother tongue in their own land, and that's a completely legitimate kind of want, right? They're not saying remove English, they're saying please give it to me in Kannada too. So they then petitioned Gundu Rao, and then, of course, just like most of us, including me, would love to take credit, so Gundu Rao took credit, but at the end of the day, it happened. Which also tells you that it's not some absent category, that we are not talking about a set of wants and aspirations and rights which are completely cooked up. When a politician is responding to something, it's because there are votes to be won. And doing something for votes to be won are probably one of the most positive ways of doing something than being the brainwave of an underrepresented person. Typically, on the whole, on a mean, okay, I'm not saying for every instance, but typically, it's a pretty good measure, okay. But what if these things don't happen? And many of us come from various different linguistic backgrounds, and some of us can probably relate to some of these kind of categories. This is specifically to do with Punjab, and a Punjabi language activist gave this to me. So first generation says, my parents used to speak Punjabi, but I don't know Punjabi because my parents spoke Hindi with me. But if someone speaks Punjabi, I can understand. Second, I don't know Punjabi, but my grandparents used to speak Punjabi. My parents never spoke Punjabi. They used to speak Hindi from childhood. Somebody speaks Punjabi, I can understand a few words. Third generation, I have listened that my great grandfather spoke Punjabi, but my grandfather never spoke. I don't understand that many words at all. I'm from Punjabi origin. And then you have, see, we are not Punjabi. Our parents all used to speak Hindi. We have never seen Punjab. We are not Punjabis. We are Hindis. You can replace Punjabi by whatever language you do not speak, your grandmother speaks, but you do not speak at school. And you can pretty well get to certain stages of this thing. You can probably even get to the scenario where you have started telling yourself that you are not that. Okay? And that precisely has a certain kind of name. It's called cultural ethnocide. That's precisely what it is. Okay? And the propaganda actually goes on and on. This is which language?
Tamil.
Tamil, right? You have a lot of gall to do this in Tamil. So we feel happy when we speak in Hindi, think, speak and write in Rajbhasha. Okay. And if you thought that Tamils were voluntarily taking to this, that's not quite true, because it's local. It's Airport Authority of India. There's something about as a ministry or some kind of control from Delhi which has to do with the fact that this inequality issue and you being second class and you being as you are not good enough is always underlined through this. And this has a long past as I was coming. So R.V. Dhulekar was a United Provinces elected member from which is now called UP largely, had this to say. And look at the echoes of these kind of strains now, all go to Pakistan, for example, right? It's a very common strain. And this is a very old strain, by the way. The strain started even before Pakistan was formed. So people who do not know Hindustani, because that's what the name was, they kind of were trying to still do a Hindi-Urdu compromise, have no right to stay in India. People who are present in this house, and they mean, by the way, the elected house of the people. Like people have elected Dhulekar, people have elected the other people Dhulekar is speaking to. Okay? So speaking between equal. So speaking being equal, members representing the people, one is saying you have no right to stay here if you do not speak this language.